All right. Alrighty then. I am back.
Glasses are powered by Meta AI, so you can get.
So, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys had a good, productive couple of days. It's Wednesday today. I was actually going to be doing a stream on Monday, but I got a little bit busy trying to get my PC set up. It's been a bit uh, cumbersome to put it all together. Actually, it's all working and running fine now, as you can see, but yeah, things were not working quite well. Had a lot of issues with the Wi-Fi issues. The connection keeps dropping off. It might actually drop off today. I'm not sure whether I have fixed it completely, but I think it's all right now. So hopefully it's not going to be an issue. I'll be here for 2 hours and I'll be streaming. We'll be talking about a lot of stuff today. I have a lot of stuff to get through, which is exciting. But yeah, and also Bluetooth. I was having a lot of issues with Bluetooth and trying to figure out what the hell was happening. But it all seems to be okay now. And I'm also switching my editing software to DaVinci Resolve, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a kind of a Hollywood grade free software that you can use. It has a very steep learning curve, and I'm still learning how to edit videos on it. So it's gonna be interesting to say the least. But yeah, I'm learning and I'm working on my next deep dive video for my YouTube channel. Guys, if you don't know, I do have a YouTube channel which is called JayBeazt Gaming. Very simple, same as my Twitch name. And I do a lot of game critiques and deep dives and reactions and stuff like that. A lot of what I talk about here, but I also make separate videos on that channel. I also post these stuff there. I only just started that channel just like a month ago, and I only have like 31 subscribers. I shouldn't say only. I had 31 subscribers, which is fantastic. And thank you guys for actually subscribing and supporting my work. So really appreciate it. Love you. Um, and yeah, and I'm doing occasional streams. I have been doing occasional streams here, mainly playing COD and It Takes Two with my brother, who, by the way, is not feeling well. Shout out to Ryan. Um, hopefully he's feeling better now. But yeah, I'm just been working on getting my PC in one piece and like get all my software in one place so I can actually get back to my workflow of everything. So it's been a busy week. It's been a busy week for sure. Um, and finally crossed 50,000 views on my YouTube channel, which is freaking awesome. You know, not easy. I know it's not a lot, but to me it feels like a lot. But yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy month. So thank you, thank you, and yeah, like I mentioned, my next deep dive video is in progress. I'm not gonna tell you what it's about, but I know a certain uh, person who is a very well known monster slayers involved. That's all I would say. Anyway, um, yeah, and I do have a big weekend. Not weekend, a week coming up next week. I'll be out for a couple of days going to visit Snow with my fam, and I'll be out for a couple of days, and then the weekend is also going to be quite busy. So I'm trying to get ahead and try everything set up. So most likely I'll be skipping my next Wednesday stream, but I will be just doing the usual stuff that I do. Um, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So all right. So just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to check if the stream is working. So let me just quickly double check that. Uh, Yeah. Okay. It's working. Cool. Good to know. Just double checking because I wasn't sure whether everything is working or not. Sometimes things kind of go wrong and sideways, and I have no idea what the hell is happening. I'm still new to this space, so bear with me, guys. Thank you very much. Um, so we've had a kind of a crazy week in gaming space, huh? Um, Kind of a crazy week in gaming space. Before I get to all of that, I want to give you a slight update. I have updated my schedule, so it's going to be the streaming schedule. So it will be Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And on Wednesdays, I'll be starting my stream at 7 and stream for 2 hours, hopefully more if I can. Mondays and Saturdays, it'll be 8 p.m. local time. I am in Melbourne, so I don't know if you're from anywhere else outside of Melbourne. The times might be changing. It might not even be the same day for you, but I'll be here for 3 hours on those days, except Wednesday it'll be just 2 hours. Trying to keep up a regular streaming schedule. So tune in if you wanna talk with me, and we'll be talking gaming news and doing reactions and stuff like that in these just chatting streams, and maybe play some games a little bit, and just hang out and talk. And if you tune in, just shout out, holla at me, and we'll get going. All right. Okay. So we have a lot, actually. We have a lot to get through. So we got Lost Soul Aside new gameplay footage leaked. Not leaked. There's I think some Asian YouTubers have been able to get their hands on the game, and there's a significant amount of footage circulating in YouTube at the moment. So I have started watching it. I haven't actually watched the whole thing, so we'll look at it together and see what's up. It's been a while. If you don't know what that is, it's a game that's been developed by a single person, which is very impressive. But it was so impressive that Sony ended up backing up the game, and now it's been Sony's developing, publishing that game. And yeah, it's a Chinese developer who's working on that game, and it looks fantastic. It looks very promising, and very keen to see more of it. So let's get into that. And there's a whole lot of Sony news. Speaking of Sony, a whole lot of Sony news. Uh, there's a talk about them going multi-platform. There's suing Tencent of all companies, and there's a whole other related news with Switch 2. My God, there's a whole lot there, and there's Steam news that we should get through. There's a hot topic going around with Steam about the payment portals being affected, and they're being pressured to taking off adult content from Steam, which is pissing off a lot of people. I can see why. And how they're questioning how much an influence that they have. And there's Battlefield multiplayer reveals coming up in a day, like tomorrow, which is fantastic. I'm so keen for that. There's more Warner Brothers news. Yeah, and there's some weird stories that I also picked up that I want to bring your attention to. So let's jump into it. Let's start talking about some of those and see how it's going. Right, let me just switch to my screen. Alrighty. I hope you can see me. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I am just chatting. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to understand what the hell is going on here. Filters. I added some stuff, but they are not here, which is fantastic. I did not see that. Sorry, just trying to. Well, frick. What is happening? Fade. Show alerts. Okay. Anyway, all right. So let's jump into Lost Soul Aside gameplay. So this is the gameplay that they have released. So let's just have a
中
quick
国之
look.
星项目《失落之魂》从公布到现在已经快10年了，现在终于
You
快
know-
到它和各位玩家见面的一天了。最近 AGVG 受邀前往苏州参加了一场失落之魂
Obviously,
线下体验会。得以见到
you're not gonna
游戏的全
understand
貌
what they're talking
带大家
about.
体验了从序章到游戏正式版
But
终章的部分
this is
内容
the some of the
对失落
gameplay
之魂
footage
正
that's
式
been
发售的
released.
表现还是比较有
I'll see if we
信心的
can.
这
There's
是
no
由于游戏
subtitles
优
or
秀且
anything,
操作上下起伏
so
很高的
I have
战
no
斗
idea
系
what
统
they're
也
saying.
事关游戏本身的卖相
So
比
it's
如
this
玩法
player
游戏
called
内容的丰富
A9VG,
可以看
an
到
Asian
很多优秀游戏
YouTuber
的影子
who got
也
their
看
hands
到
on the
原来
game,
团队在抛开了传统武
and he's
侠
just
及民
explaining
族题材之外的
what's
幻想
happening.
风赛道上的尝试潜力。到目前为止，游戏仍然存在一些瑕疵，但
It
好
looks
在距离
fantastic,
游戏
doesn't it?
正式上线还有一小段时间，所以留给制作人杨斌和中国索尼之星团队仍
Yep.
然有最后一段路要走。相信到它正式上线的那天，我们会见到一个更加完整的作品。
And the game looks fun.
正如我在开篇提到的，《失落之魂》设计了一套非常完整、流畅、拥有很高操作潜力的动作游戏战斗系统。
So this is very much like a Stellar Blade DMC sort of mashup title, and I heard that the developer who's making this game is a huge fan of Final Fantasy. That's why apparently the character looks very much like a Final Fantasy person.
如果你是一个动作游戏苦手，简化的体力槽，做好闪避或者防御，然后找准时机普攻，配合大招，就能够比较轻松的应
It
对
looks very
大多数
interesting.
敌人和 BOSS。如果你是一个操作过硬的玩家，失落之魂在
And as far as I know, it's gonna be fast skill-based combat, and there's a lot of light, heavy attacks, and long, short presses, that sort of thing, and special ability cooldowns. As you can see, there's a cooldown happening here, and basically, perfect dodges and parries. Just the whole scene is in here, which is very good. And it's not a Souls-like. It's not a Souls-like. It is more in the vein of like DMC, doing skill combos, attack combos, and that sort of type of stuff. Looks like a solid game.
这也让我们看到了一些知名动作游戏的影子。在战斗效果上，《失落之魂》一
Yeah.
如最初宣传的样子，格外强调高速。
There's a lot of freedom of movement in combat, which I'm really digging.
高强度粒子特效
And
大多数招式都有华丽的光影。
it's gonna be fantastic.
无论是剑光、闪身时的身影，还是火焰和爆炸，都非常满。这也符合游戏幻想风的主题。个人甚至觉得有时候有些过满了。
Yeah.
尤其是在闪避和防御的时候，有些小小的影响视觉判断。
I don't know what he's saying. I have no idea what he's saying. But
活动中已经见到同一个 boss， 不同挑战者用时差距巨大。
from what I know, I did some research, and there's a lot of weapon varieties, not just swords. It's gonna be sickles, lances, even some projectiles for range combat, long range, and There's gonna be weapon fragments like stat boost and appearance changes and stuff like that, which is awesome. And obviously there's gonna be a skill tree of some sort. There's a crafting system for potions and buffs, I think, and also there's gonna be transmog. Thank God, transmog. I love when games do transmog, because you know how there was a time where you couldn't do transmog. There was no such a thing called transmog in games for cosmetic customization. So you were just walking around wearing the most random shit and like most mismatching things in RPGs and just like an idiot. I love that they have the transmog system, which is awesome. Well thought out. Well thought out. And it's not open world, it's linear, mission based levels, not open world. But as you can see, they look like some of the areas might be like sandboxes where you can just go off and explore a little bit. By the look of it, I might be wrong. It could be just like huge boss arenas and that's it. But it would be nice to have some sandbox in those levels. And yeah, there's a lot of puzzles and collectibles and optional upgrades. Just the usual package for a game like this. So yeah, and yeah, that's it. I mean, it's very interesting. I think this is coming. There's a reveal, the proper reveal coming in China Joy Festival in August. There is like a game fest thing happening in China. There'll be a full reveal in there, and which I'm keen to see. Hopefully there will be no more delays, but I understand it's there is a team behind it, but it's essentially started with a solo person, and it's a fairly small team working on this, so I understand. Yeah, I mean, what do you think of this game? Tell me what you guys think, because I think this game looks fantastic. Does it look like the best game, like in terms of visuals? Probably not. But does it look like a 2025 game? Yeah, I think so. I think it looks like a 2025 game. What do you think of like are you cool with the linear levels, with this, as long as the combat is fine? For me, I think for a game like this, I actually enjoy having it linear rather than just having to explore every nook and cranny. Because it's the main star of the game usually for games like this. It's the combat. The combat is the one that keeps you going. And if the combat is shit, it doesn't matter whether it's linear or open world. You're just not going to be able to play, right? So I think it's a good decision that they made to keep it linear and not worry too much about how much player choice do we have, blah blah blah, like all that stuff. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's what I think. So yeah, do you guys think this is gonna be a day one buy for you? I mean, it's a lot like Final Fantasy, Devil May Cry energy. If you're into that sort of stuff, you should definitely buy this day one. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this game. It looks like a pretty solid game. I can't see anything wrong with it from the surface, and based on the gameplay footage that's been released, I can't really, I don't think there will be any issues with that. But we never know. I'm probably gonna wait for a review and see how it is before I dig in. But yeah, is it a day one buy for you? You wait for reviews, or are you gonna wait for a sale for the price to drop and check it out later, or wait for it to come out on I don't know, Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Plus to play it? Let me know what's your take on this. So yeah, it's an interesting little game. And speaking of interesting little games, we have a lot of Sony news to cover this week. Starting with the fact that they might be going multi-platform. Yeah, I mean, we already have a lot of games that are already multi-platform, like Spider-Man and The Last of Us, thing Horizon. They're all already on PC, but this is not what that is. This is multi-platform. I'm talking about actually, you know, seeing Sony PlayStation exclusives being released on Xbox or possibly even Nintendo. Crazy, right? Crazy. And we're gonna dig into that a little bit because I've got uh this job listing that we have come across. I didn't find this, just to be clear. This is something that someone else found and it's been circulating and I came across it. And it's a job listing for senior director. How? Wait, hang on. You can't see what I'm looking at. There you go. Now you can see. It's a job listing for a senior director, multi-platform and account management, based in the United States. I should apply. No, it's PlayStation haven't really had. I don't think. I don't know if they had a multi-platform account manager before. Account management senior director before. I don't really know what, like, if this is a new listing or a replacement, but this has been circulating in the internet, and people were kind of going crazy because they had this part. Reporting to the Vice President, Commercial Management as Senior Director of Multi-Platform and Account Management, you will play a critical leadership role in shaping and executing the global commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios software titles across all digital platforms beyond PlayStation hardware, including Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile. I mean, we are already familiar with Sony exclusives being on PC, but Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile? I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, we know the console war has been over for a while, but if this is actually happening, if you're gonna start seeing PlayStation coming out on Xbox and Nintendo and mobile, the console war is well and truly over. Well and truly over, and it's a good thing for us, for players. It gives them a lot of choice, and this role is accountable for optimizing title profitability, ensuring cross functionality, alignment, and leading high performance team. Yeah, so it's a directorial role within PlayStation. So this guy will be in charge of actually working with internal teams and external teams and other companies like Xbox, Microsoft, and Nintendo to bring the Sony exclusive to these platforms. And we already starting this sort of thing happening with Xbox. We got Forza on PlayStation. I mean, imagine playing Forza on a PlayStation. It has been wild. And Indiana Jones came to PlayStation. So, I mean, it's already happening with Xbox. And, I think the reason is very clear, though. Reason is very clear because at the end of the day, it's been, when it comes to games development, it's been very, very, very expensive, crushing costs when it comes to game development, and it's been increasing year over year. And I know we have a lot of talk about how games are also getting expensive for consumers now, with the starting with the $60 price tag, and now it's 80, and it's now going to like 100. It's crazy. I'm talking about US dollars. Here in Australia, it's even crazier because the games used to be like $100 if you're buying from EB Games, and now it's like 120, 130. It's crazy. And this is because the game development has also gotten really expensive. increasingly expensive, and having, especially for Sony exclusives, it's being hard because a lot of their stuff either licensed or, I mean, new IPs are good, but things like Spider-Man, they are already on multi-platform because licensing is also very expensive, and having these games limited to one platform is not going to do them any favors anymore. When this exclusivity in gaming titles started, it was because they wanted to drive people to stick to a console, buy their console. That's why the consoles were cheaper, but the games were expensive, and you had exclusives also, right? And it just made sense because the cheap console was the entry. It's a low entry barrier to entry, but once you get your console, you have all these exclusives that you can play on the specific consoles, and that was leading people to actually choose a console that they want to play in. PlayStation had that strategy going on for at least 2-3 generations now. PlayStation 2, it's too old to talk about now. I mean, not too old. I'm saying in terms of their, shifting strategies, they started there with PlayStation 3, like full steam ahead, and PlayStation 4 really perfected it. They had a lot of exclusives dropping on PlayStation 4 era. That really, I mean, they pretty much won the console war in that generation because of their exclusives, and they were so good. And people were buying PlayStation 4s or Xboxes just to play the exclusives. But in this current gen, I think at this point, the consoles, PlayStations and Xboxes have been in the consumer market for so long. It's been like almost 20 years of this, these consoles been there, and so are like people's accounts, like PlayStation accounts and Xbox accounts or whatever. So people are very much less likely to do that shift from one console to another anymore. If you made your preference in either PS3 era or PS4 era, you're likely to stick with that, or you shift to PC like me. But you're most likely to keep that console with you. So because you have all your progression and all your stuff, achievements and all that attached to that specific console or that account, like if it's a PSN account or an Xbox account. So people are less likely to make that shift now. So if that's the case, it just makes sense now for publishers to go, okay, so we should probably start releasing our games in other platforms so we make more money. It just makes sense, right? So that is the only surefire way to make sure that you get a lot more revenue for your games. And I think that's a good strategy because, the more money they make, that the better they can cover their costs. And hopefully, the longer they can put off by having to, increase the prices for the games for the consumer. So it's a bit of a win-win situation for everybody, right? So it just makes so much sense that it's happening, and I hope it continues to happen. Speaking of multi-platform releases, it's I hope GTA comes sooner on the PC. I know it's not gonna be. I know it's gonna be a PlayStation console release first and then PC later. I hope that it doesn't take them a whole year to do it though, because now I just got a PC. I want to be playing it on PC. I don't want to be playing it on PS5, but I'm probably going to buy it on PS5 because I don't want to wait until it comes on PC. And then when it comes on PC, I'll probably switch. What are you guys going to do? Would you be doing the same thing like me, or buy a PlayStation Pro just to play it? Some people have been saying that they want to do that. They might do that. I don't know if I would though. I don't think I want to upgrade my PS5. I have a base PS5. I don't know if I want to upgrade that to a Pro just to play GTA. Would you? Would you? I don't think I would. Anyway, so there's that. And speaking of Sony, Sony news, there is another one that I want to bring your attention to, which is This is actually a good one. This is a juicy one. It's about Sony filing a lawsuit against Tencent. Tencent, if you don't know who that is, Tencent is an absolutely massive giant in gaming industry. It is absolutely massive. It's bigger than Sony. It's bigger than PlayStation. It's bigger than Xbox. They have a stake in pretty much almost every publishing company out there. And Tencent, how big? You know, Tencent is a massive Chinese multinational technology and entertainment conglomerate. Its market capitalization is approximately 986 billion, making the 17th most valuable company globally. Yeah. So if you just go, yeah, there's go. This gives good sense of how big they are. Apple is big, yeah. Alphabet. This is, I don't know which year this is. 2017. It's bigger now. But yeah, I mean, Alphabet. That's Google. That's Google, and Microsoft, Amazon, and Tencent, and Facebook is even below that. This is in 2017. Alibaba, they're all below that. And biggest gaming companies, Tencent is on the top. Sony is 3.8 billion. Tencent is 7.3 billion. A lot more now. Bigger than Apple, bigger than Microsoft, bigger than Google, bigger than any of these. They have an active stake on companies like EA, Ubisoft, and all that. I mean, they're pretty much shareholders in most of the publishing companies, right? So yeah, it's a giant corporation that Sony is suing because of a game that they have announced, which looks alarmingly like the Horizon games. I don't know. I have not talked about this game in my channel, but it would be good to talk about it. Let me know if you want me to do a, video on this game, which is called Light of Moderum. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, this is the trailer. If you haven't seen it, this is the trailer for that game, and dare I say, it actually looks something straight out of Horizon. I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. You'll see what I mean in a second. You'll see what I mean. I mean, that looks like part of Destiny. Not gonna lie. Looks like the ghost from Destiny. But other than that, you'll see what I mean. Maybe Destiny should sue them too.
Wake up.
I mean, come on.
I call you forth, the fourth breath I grant you.
It's a little bit too on the nose, isn't it?
Spirals against time.
Yeah. This is not Horizon. But it does look like... Yeah, I mean, even the character designs... It looks like Destiny and Horizon mashup. The environment's also like very similar looking. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, it kind of looks like a Horizon Online kind of vibe to it, which is not a bad idea actually. It's actually not a bad idea, which is probably something Sony's already working on. I mean, they did the Lego Horizon. This is an IP that they really want to protect because it's good. It's a very profitable IP. So yeah, man, this is very, very Horizon. So I can understand where Sony's coming from and why they're suing Tencent over this, because one can imagine if you're like a casual gamer who just plays games casually and don't really keep up with the news, you can easily mistake this for the next Horizon game, which is what they're alleging in their lawsuit. They're saying that
why can't human beings kill God?
yeah. So yeah, I mean, this trailer was 7 minutes long, but it's very it's got like, it doesn't look exactly like Horizon, but the concept, the art style, everything is very, very reminiscent of Horizon, and it has like kind of a Horizon online vibe to it, like I said. And I mean, 100% sure that Sony is already working something along the lines of Horizon Online. They must be, because they seem to be doing a lot of online games these days. So if that's what they're doing, this is probably obviously going to conflict and compete with that game. So it makes sense that why they want to sue this why they want to sue Tencent over this. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So this is the article from GameSpot. Let's read that if you can see. Yeah, so Sony Interactive has filed a lawsuit against Tencent over its upcoming game Light of Mortarum, with Sony saying it's a slavish clone of the Horizon series. Ooh, shade. The suit, which was filed on July 25th in California and was seen by GameSpot, sees Sony going after Tencent for copyright and trademark infringement, with Sony demanding a trial by jury. Sony said it is trying to prevent the release of Light of Mortarum. Tencent's copying of Horizon is so blatant that the public has described it as a crazy, insane, and shameless, Sony said in the lawsuit. SIE further alleged that Tencent came to the company with a pitch to license the Horizon IP, to which SCI declined. Sony said Tencent is deliberately causing numerous game lovers to confuse Light of Mortarum as the next game in the Horizon series, by way of Tencent promoting it with a ripoff of Horizon's Aloy character. Tencent's conduct has caused and is causing irreparable injury to SIE, the company said. Sony is seeking statutory damages up to $150,000 for each separate work in the Horizon franchise infringed. So basically what they're saying is, so Sony wants statutory damages, which is, you know, straight up like damage for their IP, charges $150,000 per Horizon franchise infringed. So like, you're talking about the first game, the second game, the VR game, any other material that's maybe like comic books or art or whatever that's going around. Per every one of those work that exist within the Horizon franchise, each separate work, they want $150,000 of statutory damage charges. So, I mean, it feels like a lot, but Tencent is a multi-billion-dollar company who is bigger than anyone, any one of these gaming companies. This is nothing for them, and I don't think that's what they're worried about. I think, let's read on. As well as for Tencent to deliver SIS lawyers all products and marketing materials bearing what it claims to be our prohibited marks, so Sony's team can destroy them. Okay, yeah. So there's no link that I can go to check it out. Let's see if I can find it. Sony lawsuit Tencent. If I have the company. Yeah, there's no link to it, but yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the gist of it is they're charging for statutory damages, but there probably will be punitive charges as well. Punitive charges is probably, if you don't know what that is, it's basically asking the the judge to make an example out of Tencent. So it'll be like a significantly higher, probably multi-million-dollar damage charge. So it won't be like a couple $100,000 or whatever, which is nothing to Tencent. It's money is not a problem for them. But if you charge them with something much bigger, like a huge punitive charge, and that'll get their attention, right? It's like this is like going over their heads, but a big charge like, I don't know, a couple of $1 million would be significant for them, and it'll sort of grab their attention. Otherwise, these kind of lawsuits, they don't even reach the higher people in the company. They're just like, oh yeah, just pay this and like get rid of it. It's kind of like that, right? But a massive charge would actually bring their attention to this whole thing, and they would think twice about infringing on copyrighted work, and even scare possibly other companies to not copy Sony's IPs. I mean, this is, I can understand where Sony is coming from. Nintendo is doing a similar thing with Pal World, right? Ironically, I think Pal World is published by Sony, isn't it? Is Pal World published by Sony? No, not but Sony's involved in partnership related to the game. Yeah. So Sony is involved in the partnership, so they backed up the developers of that game. But now Nintendo is suing Sony and Pal World over their Pokemon IP. there's a lot of lawsuits, dude. A lot of lawsuits going around. But yeah, these things happen. But I feel like when it comes to this whole thing, that art style and the way everything plays out, and even like the story beats, very, very, very on the nose with the Horizon IP. It's very easy to make comparisons. I mean, they're not even trying to be different. Even like the robotic animal designs, straight out of our Horizon, dude. Even human character designs, like their fashion, like the clothes designs. It's very similar to, not very similar. It's straight out of Horizon. The only thing different with the character models is like they look more like anime, Asian style characters, not realistic looking like Aloy was. But other than that, yeah, interesting. This is an interesting story. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys agree with Sony suing Tencent, or do you think that this is an overreaction on Sony's part? I think it is. I think it is kind of warranted, though. I think it's warranted. I mean, Tencent has a lot of money. They probably didn't care about it as much, and they thought they could probably just do it and get away with it. And if there is a lawsuit, they'll just settle it and then keep going or something like that. Because they just have a shit ton of money that they don't have to care about this. So, so there's that. And yeah, it's a very interesting piece of news that I came across, and hopefully this is I'm keen to see what's gonna happen. Because it looks like there's been a significant development into this game already. We saw some gameplay and all that as well. So, and the fascinating thing is the fact that Tencent pitched Sony on a Horizon game set in Asia, and then Sony denied that. So, and then Tencent went ahead and just did their own thing, which I find it ridiculous, like hilarious that they just did that without a care. and thought they might be able to get away with it. But anyway, it's like these giant corporations just acting like babies. It's really funny. It's really funny. Giant corporations acting like babies. Speaking of that, I do have another one that I want to bring your attention to, which is you probably already heard about this whole debacle online, which is Mastercard and Visa just pressuring Valve, the Steam people, to get rid of adult content, adult games on Steam client because they're upset, and apparently it doesn't sit well with their policies and all that, you know. So that is something. That is something. This is the article. Valve confirms credit card companies pressured it into delist certain adult games from Steam. So, you know, yeah. Oh, hi, Divine Tom. Yeah, thank you, mate. We'll definitely check it out. Yeah, so as I was saying, welcome to my Twitch stream. This is the first one I'm doing with gaming news and all that. I have been doing some COD streams and stuff that I thought I want to switch it up and do gaming news and reaction stuff like that, which I love doing. I do that on my main YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen that, please go and check it out. Yeah, as I was saying, this is an interesting piece of news because you'd think that things like this happen because, you know, our gaming companies, they have their own issues. But then to hear that, you know, Mastercard and Visa is pressuring Steam to delist games and censor these games because they're upset, which makes no sense. And it makes you think how much power these companies actually have over even giants like Steam. Steam doesn't have to care, but you know, they're pressured into this, which is kind of ridiculous, right? Like I said, giant corporations acting like babies is the theme this week. It says it's Mastercard's world, we just live in it. I mean, dystopian as it sounds, yeah, I think so. That's my understanding based on a recent communique with from Valve to PC Gamer, which confirmed that, yep, the company sure did recently remove a whole spate of adult games from its storefront because it made payment processors upset. I mean, come on. Like what? How does that even, like, make it make sense for me? Make it make sense. We were recently notified that certain games on Steam may violate the rules and standards set forth by our payment processors and their related card networks and banks. It said, so even banks are upset that people want to play adult games? Like, what? As a result, we are retiring those games from being sold on the Steam store. Valve's reaching out to devs impacted by the change and issuing app credits should they have another game they like to distribute on Steam in the future. Just so you know, so long as those games get the seal of approval from Valve's payment processors, I suppose. I mean, it is as ridiculous as it sounds. I mean, this is not something that's been dictated by the gaming company itself. They're having to make these bizarre decisions about what games consumers are allowed to pay and what games they're not allowed to play because of their payment processes. Like Mastercard and Visa deciding what you're going to play next, which is absolutely kind of terrifying, to be honest, that it's been allowed. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is something that's that should be regulated by the industry, like the gaming companies, rather than, you know, having payment processes and banks having to have a say about these kind of matters? Like, this is something that directly speaks to the, you know, the basic human rights of, you know, being able to have access to content that you want, legal content. These games are not illegal. There are very much legal content that you have the right to access as a gamer or anyone who would like to play those type of games, and censoring them out of a platform because payment clients are not happy or upset about it is downright ridiculous to me. At least it makes no freaking sense. And so it says Valve explicitly said that it was removing the offending games because the loss of payment methods would prevent customers from being able to purchase other titles and game content on Steam. It seems quite clear to me from those kind of statements that Valve's chafing a little under payment processor tyranny, but I suspect even Steam can't really go toe-to-toe with the likes of Visa and Mastercard. Valve didn't say which games specifically have been yoinked off Steam as a result of the credit card companies throwing their weight around, but I don't think it takes Pyro to put this one together. As we noted in our original piece on Steam's new rule forbidding content that might upset its payment processes, the appearance of the new regulation in Steam's documentation coincided with the sudden disappearance of a bunch of adult games with a theme of keeping it in the family. There are some games that still have that focus on Steam storefront, so I suppose we can't say for certain that it's what raised processors hackles, but I think it's a safe bet anyway. Yeah, so it's a bizarre piece of news, and I don't think this makes any sort of sense, and this should continue to be allowed. I think this is why, I'm looking at a Polygon article, sorry guys, but I thought it was interesting. Visa and Mastercard are getting overwhelmed by gamer fury over censorship. Censorship is already a huge issue within the gaming industry. I have so many times I have talked about the whole Stop Killing Games movement, which has been sprung out by the fact that game publishers have been delisting games that they just don't want to keep around, starting with The Crew from Ubisoft and numerous other games that just got delisted, and now even EA is jumping on that, delisting their games like the Anthem and all that, which is crazy to me. So these things are happening, and people are losing access to the games that they love, regardless whether they're shitty games or not. It doesn't matter. There's still games that came out. It's part of gaming history, and people losing access to it simply because publishers don't want to keep them around. This isn't already a sensitive point for a lot of the gamers who are passionate about game preservation and having access to games that they want to play. And amidst that, this level of I can't speak. This level of censorship coming from random companies like payment processors is downright bizarre and ridiculous, and I think it should be questioned, it should be investigated, it should be regulated, because payment processes don't mind their own freaking business, dude. Like, they are a finance company who's doing their payment processing, whatever. They're a payment client. That's what they are. You just provide a means to pay. That's it. Why do you go about dictating what Steam's doing? That's not your business. It shouldn't be. So it's so weird that this is happening, dude. It's so weird. It makes no freaking sense. No freaking sense. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think about this whole situation with Visa and Mastercard and butting in? Let me know if you think that's something that they should be doing or shouldn't be doing. I would love to know your take on this, because it is definitely a topic of discussion for me, at least. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We got a few more things to talk about. Speaking of censorship, oh dear. There is another thing that I want to bring your attention to. This is our favorite friend, Nintendo, now in the spotlight, because I came across this Reddit post, which is, can you guys see? There you go. This Reddit post is talking about how this player got a permanent ban on their Switch 2 that cannot be revoked. So there was a little bit of misinformation spreading around regarding to this piece of news. But I just want to clarify that this person, so I'll just read it out. It says, I let everyone in my family use Nintendo Switch 2 system, and as a result, my sister uses it. Her username was recently changed to Twinklink. I mean, great gamer tag name, great gamer name, but it led to a console ban. I am fully prevented from accessing any Nintendo services at all on the system. I'm unable to contact support as they're too busy with complaints right now, but this has been incredibly stressful. We were all so excited to be playing Breath of the Wild again. Yeah, this is a shit news. Anyway, then he did an update, final edit. Nintendo is actively working to resolve the issue in question, and my console is being unbanned. It wasn't the username that caused the issue like the initial support agent claimed. Rather, it was flagged by accident, and as such, they are working to fix it. Interesting, don't you think? I think there's a few layers to this news. I think initially this news was going around because, like he mentioned, when he contacted Nintendo, they were saying that they can't revoke their ban on Switch 2, which is essentially locking him out of pretty much, rendering Switch 2 unusable. Pretty much. That's what it means. You can't access online features. You can't access the eShop. You can't even download the games that you already own. Or, you can just, maybe you can play the games that's already on it, but you can't even download your games that you own. Which is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. So I don't know. And this piece of news kind of went viral, and then this edit came. So I don't know if this is because has something to do with PR management on Nintendo's behalf. They didn't want more shit than they've been getting already. They've been getting a lot of shit since Switch 2. I feel like, people are not calling it out as much as I hope they would, but the whole Switch 2 launch has been very reminiscent of the Xbox One launch. I don't know if you guys remember how Xbox One launch was. It was a crazy launch. Xbox One launch disaster. Maybe we can come up with. Yeah, so here, this is just the AI breakdown, but the Xbox One initial reveal and launch were widely considered a disaster due to a focus on entertainment features over gaming, restrictive DRM policies, and higher price point compared to the competition. Yeah. And yeah, they had a lot of restrictions attached to this gaming, and it has to be, back then, always online wasn't a thing. People weren't too crazy about having their consoles and gaming always being connected to online. There was a lot of pushback against that kind of practices back then, although at this point right now it's kind of become the norm, and people have increasingly gained a lot of access to internet and have readily available fast speeds and unlimited internet now. It's become less of an issue now. So they have sneakily put these features in games and systems without even telling us. But back then, when PS4 and Xbox One was coming out, having to have your console always connected to online in order to use it, having to have your games so you can play games even, because the DRM worked that way. It needed to validate your disc in order to play it, so it had to be connected to online, all that. So it was very ridiculous, and you weren't allowed to share your games, even the physical copies. You couldn't share with your friends. So if you bought a game physical copy, and because of this whole DRM system with the Xbox, you played it and it was registered to you. And if you just share that with somebody else, like a friend or like a sibling or whatever, you just couldn't. or like maybe you wanted to sell it, you couldn't. It just made, I mean, the funny thing is this is exactly how it works now in the digital storefronts. I mean, you buy a game, it's yours, you can't share it, right? But except that whole thing 11 years ago with Xbox One with physical copies, so people were understandably mad. And even Sony made fun of it by releasing a video, Sony share games video. It was this one. I don't know if you've seen
This
this.
is how you share your games on PS4.
Yeah.
Thanks.
PlayStation.
Yeah, so there you go. That's what happened. So there, I mean, this was 12 years ago. 12 years ago, they were making fun of being able to share games, and the irony is now we have come full circle to this moment. You can't really share games anymore because everything's going digital, no more physical copies. I mean, there are still physical copies, but it's getting harder and harder to share games anymore because publishers are also slowly moving away from having physical copies available slowly to digital only releases, which automatically now means you can't share your games. You buy them, it's attached to your accounts. That's it. You can't trade them. You can't do any of that. So, and games are much more expensive now. So, welcome to gaming, in a very expensive hobby to maintain. But there you go. So, yeah. So that's what's been happening with PlayStation. But getting back to my the topic that I was talking about, which is about the Switch 2 username ban. They are saying that they're unbanning it probably because Nintendo doesn't want any more shit, so they're trying to work it out. This is going to be painful for most people if this actually happens to people, right? And I don't think it makes sense. Switch 2 is basically buying a license to play your games, specifically Nintendo games now. You don't you buy the console, but you don't actually own it because they can brick it for you anytime, and they will not be able to revoke it. That's what they're saying. So if they put a ban on your console, I mean, not a game, not your account, your console, you can't play the games. You cannot use the console that you bought with your hard-earned money because you made a mistake on it and they thought that it's enough to ban you. That's the kind of world that we're living in right now. So think about that for a second. Yeah, it is an awesome username. Banned over words allowed, but yeah, I mean, we thought that it was the name Twink, which is an awesome name, I suppose. But apparently it's not the username. It was flagged for some other reason. The stupid AI algorithms or something. I don't know what it was. It's not very clear. I don't have the full picture here. But yeah, this is just a piece of news I thought was very interesting and kind of alarming. What do you guys think of this whole situation? Do you think Nintendo should be doing this? I mean, I obviously think they shouldn't. This is very much dystopian to me at this point. I don't even know how they allowed this kind of behavior and how they're allowed to even get away with it. I know it's a century-old company that's been here forever, but the fact that people aren't even questioning it enough, and there's no real pushback against these practices, it's kind of nuts to me. Doesn't make much sense to me. And people making stupid decisions, speaking of that, I have another job listing that I would like to share with you. A lot of job listings today. This is I found on Reddit. Reddit is the best place to go for these kind of things. So WB Games Montreal project is a live service DC Comics game, according to a job listing that's been revealed. So following its last release, the team is already deep into development on its next title. So if you don't know what that is, we're talking about the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That was their last game, which was a disaster. In all the ways that you can think of. It was not well received at all, and their roadmap post launch has been laughable. They're so disconnected and so out of touch of what the gamers actually want, and it's very stupid because it was developed by Rocksteady Studios, who made Batman Arkham games, who we all know to be kind of a legend. They're kind of legendary games. They hold up to this day, and they're very old games and still playable and still top of the line. And then we got Kill the Justice League, which was I have tried to play that game, dude. It came out on PlayStation Plus for free. That's when I tried it. I couldn't last for even half an hour. It just bored me to death. And anyway, it's not the fact that the gameplay was actually fun. The gameplay itself was actually pretty good. It's just the whole gameplay loop of, the online function of it and the grind, and it wasn't very good. The online, they're not the kind of people who should be doing online. Rocksteady are they're masters at open world story driven games, and that's not what they did with it. It's very, if you actually play the game, even like the cutscenes and the story elements of it actually pretty good. There was some moments where I was like, oh dang, okay, like that's pretty cool. But then you start playing the game, it's just madness. And yeah, I thought after all of that, WB would have learned and probably go back to making games that actually gamers want to play. I mean, if they didn't learn their lesson by now, come on. Like, Hogwarts Legacy released pretty much around the same time period, and that game did so well. I mean, if you look at Hogwarts Legacy revenue, Hogwarts Legacy has sold more than 12 million copies and generated 850 million in global revenue. By 5th of May 2023, global sales had risen to 15 million copies, surpassing 1 billion in total earnings. That's Hogwarts Legacy. That came with a lot of controversy and a lot of people voicing to boycott the game as well because of the involvement of J.K. Rowling, but still made over 1 billion in total earnings. And let's have a look at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League revenue. Yeah, anyway, apparently lost 200 million on Suicide Squad. It's not, I don't think they have disposed what their earnings are for this game. It says the failure of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League contributed to 200 million hit to revenue. So they made no money out of this game, but they're gonna make another game. And it turns out they are in fact that freaking stupid. I mean, this really sums up like what they're doing. It makes no sense, dude. This is the source. Next WGate Montreal project is a live service DC comic game. Job listing reveals. Do we have the job listing itself? Tech4 Games come across a new job listing for an executive producer that reveals key details about the project, including the fact that it is based on DC Comics IP and utilizes a live service model. Yeah. Why it matters? The live service model has repeatedly proven to be risky for video game developers. It's surprising to see that Warner Bros. Will continue down this path, given how poorly its recent releases have performed. Yeah, I don't know who's making these decisions, dude. It's definitely something to think about, I think. I think the management, the high level management in the company right now is so out of touch of the gaming industry trends and what the gamers prefer from specifically their games and what they expect from their games. When they have aligned with that, they made billions. Hogwarts Legacy. But for some reason, they just want to continue down this path, and they think that their next live service going to be the next Fortnite or something. I don't know, dude. I think they got excited because of the success of Marvel Rivals and thought, oh, okay, maybe I'm gonna try Marvel Rivals, but with DC, maybe that'll work. Maybe they're thinking that. But I don't know. Even Marvel Rivals' success is not huge compared to, the heavy hitters like Fortnite or Roblox or Destiny is kind of dead now, but the massive successes that they've had in the past. Overwatch was big, but Valorant, Counter-Strike, those are established games now. PUBG, but it's very hard to get into that market now because it's already got a fan base who has their own preference when it comes to online games like these multiplayer games, and you're stuck with it because you've got all your friends in that ecosystem, and you just want to play with your mates, and you have your whole bunch of people that you play with, and you're used to a certain way. You're not going to switch that unless it's really good, right? So the bar for online multiplayers, online service game to work tremendously, the bar is like so much high. So you have to be extremely good and get everything right for in order for it to work. With an exception of maybe GTA 6. I don't know. But then again, you never know because GTA 5 Online was a massive success. But Rockstar thought that they would find this same level of success with Red Dead Redemption 2 Online, which did not work for them. People were not happy with that, and it's sort of been ditched and put into a corner now. So didn't really work out for them, did they? So I don't know, dude. It's a hit and miss, and you never really know how these things go. It's an extreme risk for gaming companies to invest so much money on live service games because the market is also very much saturated, and like I said, in order for it to work out now, they have to be extremely bloody good, if they're not if they have to be like a game changer in the industry for it to work. Otherwise it might have average moderate success, maybe none at all. Discord. And yeah, you're just gonna waste your money. Instead, you'll make a lot more money by making a game that is probably cheaper to make, maybe not actually, like a story game or open world game or linear story driven game, something that people actually enjoy, coming from these developers. Rocksteady, for an example, a developer who are known to make great open world story driven games. Getting a live service game from them that is not even good, I mean, kind of makes sense because they're not used to making those games. You're asking a person who knows how to make a certain type of games to make something else completely. And this is the mistake this high-level management is making, and they still have not learned their lesson, which is interesting. Anyway, what do you guys think of this whole situation with the WB making another live service game? I think uh, it's stupid. It's very stupid. Look at this comment section from Reddit. It says, "Just one more live act service, boy. It'll work, bro. I promise. Just one more IP, please. It'll work." I mean, yep. One more away from closing the studio. Fact: 90% of devs stop making live service games right before they're about to make the most profitable game of all time. I mean, this is the mentality that those high level managements are pursuing. Have some goddamn faith. I mean, I ain't gonna complain about Gotham City Imposters too. Gotham City Imposters too, man. That is another game that actually sucked. I really tried my best to get into it because I wanted to play another game set in Gotham City. I loved Gotham City, but it felt so empty, and somehow the game actually looked worse than the the Arkham City, Batman Arkham Knight. Yeah, Arkham Knight. Yeah, it looked worse than that game. It's so weird. I don't know how they manage that. I know it's not made by Rocksteady, but still, how can a game that is years and years older looks so much better than a game that just came out? Makes no sense. Anyway, love to hear your take on this. This is something I don't know what to think of, really. It's interesting piece of news. Speaking of interesting news, there is something that I'm very keen about ahead of tomorrow's Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal, because there has been some reveals on multiplayer for people who managed to get their hands on while playing beta. EA has been kind of cracking down on these videos and removing them, so I'm not sure whether I will be able to show you. Oh, actually, it's still up. So, here's a look at that. It's not very clear, but this is gameplay from Battlefield multiplayer. It's already out. Bro's just repairing the hell out of that. No, he's doing a great job repairing the game. I mean, repairing the tank. Repairing the game. They might need to repair the game at some point. It looks very much like your Battlefield. It has that familiar feel to it, which I like. I don't know if it's me or the quality of this video, but the game doesn't look that good. I was hoping the game would look better than this. Maybe it's because they haven't polished the game yet. Maybe it's too early. I don't know. I feel like the game kind of looks bad, look, in terms of textures and quality. I feel like previous Battlefield games actually look better than this, don't you? Yeah. 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 So weird. Yeah. It looks fun. How long is this video? It goes on for half an hour. Let's skip ahead. So this is mainly vehicular gameplay. Chaos, man. Chaos. Let's see if I can... Battlefield 6 multiplayer gameplay. Comes up with anything. 2 days ago. Is this real? Yeah. Oh, it's the same guy. Whoa. Oh, that was a lot of people. I wonder how many people are playing this. How big is the map? I mean, to me this looks fun. I have always enjoyed Battlefield, huge maps, and this guy's just running and gunning, but it's still fun. Oh damn. This guy's a beast. Very unforgiving. Holy shit. Whoa. Are they playing against bots? What the heck?
You're watching YouTube, but did you?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm playing an ad. Anyway, so yeah, the gameplay looks actually really cool. But I do have an issue with how it's kind of looking. It's not looking that. Maybe they need to polish it up. Maybe that's what it is. I don't really know, but it looks kind of. It looks like it could use a little bit more polishing, and it's not really looking that great, I think. So I don't know. Let's see, right? Let's see. Yeah. So that's Battlefield 6. I'm really hyped for Battlefield 6, and I really want it to work. And I wonder what they're gonna say about the multiplayer reveal tomorrow. I'm gonna tune into that and see how that goes. I mean, it's one thing to look at the multiplayer footage like this, but I want to actually see their explanation and like what's new and what's changed and how everything is. So I would like to actually see all of that, and hopefully it's something interesting, and hopefully they have listened to feedback from gamers and the players who played the previous games. There was 2042 was a disaster at launch. They did bounce back a little bit with that game, but it still didn't do as well as like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, even Battlefield 1 was great. But yeah, I think they've taken their time. It's been good 4 years or something since the last Battlefield game dropped. So I think they've taken a good chunk of time to think and rethink their strategy when it comes to Battlefield, and hopefully listen to player feedback and actually improve this entry and give something that players actually want and fun to play. So let's see how that goes. And yeah, what's your take on Battlefield? Do you guys think it's are you guys going to be playing Battlefield, or are you over it now, or are you just playing COD now and you're not going to switch? For me, Battlefield always been the game to jump into when I want to play with my mates. I mean, Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, I have a lot of memories scoring up with my mates, just jumping online after, high school, and just playing for hours and hours, just basically scoring up and having our own little thing, tactical, lot of tactical gameplay. We would just either jump on a tank and sort of go policing everywhere and then dominating all the points, or it will be a lot more tactical. We will just stick together as a team. We'll go from point to point on foot and clear out the bases. And it was a lot of fun to do because it was slower in pace and a lot more tactical than something like COD, which is basically just running and gunning, very fast gameplay. I enjoyed that slow phase. One match can last for an hour or even more if you're playing it right. And if both sides are equally good, it can last for a very long time. And that used to be my thing. I haven't played Battlefield in a while because 2042 sucked. Couldn't really get into it. The whole operator system really sucked the soul out of me. I didn't really like it. The maps were subpar at best. So I'm hoping this would be a good solid entry for Battlefield franchise, and would get a lot of those old players and also new players into this entry and make it good. And Battlefield, I really want there to be a resurgence of Battlefield because it's a one of a kind, man. It's not like Battlefield. It's not like COD or any other online multiplayer shooters right now. It's very different. Battlefield is its own thing, and I want that to have a comeback. So let's see how that goes. One can only hope that it's going to be good, right? You never know. Speaking of weird stories, there is two more things that I want to talk about before I wrap up today. But this is something that I kind of came across and thought was very funny. It's very funny. It's Death Stranding photo mode being used to bypass age verification. I mean, I didn't think that I would use Death Stranding photo mode and age verification and bypass all in one sentence. It's a weird thing to hear about, but the gist is, following the passage of the UK's Online Safety Act, some users are bypassing the age verification checks put in place by Discord and other sites via the photo mode functions in Death Stranding. By booting up Death Stranding and taking a picture of Sam Porter bridges, the measure allowed UK users to conceal their identities and trick Discord's age check systems. Isn't that funny? It's really funny. They have some examples here that you can see. You can use Death Stranding's photo mode to bypass Discord age verification. I tried tricking it with a pickup. I got through the first step, but then it asked me to open my mouth to confirm I'm real, so I had a plan. Open up Death Stranding. Oh, close your mouth. Yeah, it's crazy. You determine you are in the adult age group. Isn't that crazy that this is happening? The UK government forcing Discord to scan my face or show my ID to verify my age is genuinely draconian. Oi, you got a license for that. Jokes are 100% justified. Yeah, it's crazy. Can confirm this works with Death Stranding too. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing to do. You would think they probably use AI or something, but no, just good old Sam Porter bridges from Death Stranding 2 will do the trick. Doesn't even have to be very realistic human, but this is realistic enough for AI to be fooled, I guess. Isn't that very interesting? I thought that was a interesting piece of news to talk about, and yeah, it's It's very funny. It's very, very funny. What do you guys think of this whole situation of age verification? I think it is it should be regulated for sure. UK's I think the intent behind UK's Online Safety Act is very much warranted for, but the execution of it all has been kind of messy. I think, yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can get around it and be savvy with this, as we have seen now with these kind of things. And AI, while it's very advanced now, I don't know whether it's advanced enough to fool these things. And I think there has to be a better system in place to check these things if you're going to do that. But yeah, it's a very hard situation to be in. Policing these kind of restrictions practically and realistically is very hard. It's not you're not gonna, especially with kids, it's fine, but people who are a little bit older, like maybe that who are like 13 to 16 age, they are, while still teens and young kids, they are very savvy with technology. They can always find a way, work around these restrictions. And we all know, even as millennials had done that in our when we were kids. Things weren't as complicated as they're now, but we still found a way to cheat the system and do things. If you know what I'm talking about. So it's that hasn't changed. The kids these days still find ways to work things in their favor when it comes to facing these restrictions and all that. So I'm not surprised. Speaking of restrictions, though, there is one final piece of news that I want to bring your attention to, which is an Australian news. So YouTube has okay. I'll give you some context. So I think later last year, the Australian government has passed a law that is banning anyone under 16 years of age to be able to use any social media platform. So it includes Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Discord, and I don't know if it includes Twitch, but it includes a whole bunch of social media platforms, and X also. Yeah. So they passed a law that if you're under 16, you cannot have an account in these platforms, and you cannot. I mean, you can still view where it's allowed, but like for an example, like you can't make an account. So that's just how it is. And also Snapchat as well. So it says, as it says here, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and X, right? Those were the platforms. And then into the mix now, just like a day ago, they confirmed YouTube will be part of that ban, which have made Google very angry, and they have actually threatened a lawsuit against this. But yeah, it's a weird situation. Their argument is that YouTube is not a social media platform. They are a video streaming platform. Hence, they should not be banned, and it will affect the education and all that access to kids, which is not a good thing. I get their point, but to counterpoint, the Australian government has come back and saying that actually, wait a second, we have found that YouTube exposure to kids actually has some percentage of harm for people under 16. So we are definitely banning YouTube for under 16s as well, because while it's not a social media platform, the exposure is kind of like very similar to social media behavior, so it should be treated as such. That's what they have said officially. So which I thought was interesting, because kids will still be able to access YouTube as a platform, but they will not be able to make an account. So they're what they are watching, when they're watching, all of that stuff will not be logged because they don't have an account. Because of that reason, because they can't make an, so as long as you can just watch logged out, you can watch anything basically. But algorithm will not be able to actually record your data as to how you watch, or your watching behaviors, what your content are. So until a kid is past 16 years of age, these algorithms and any of these social media platforms will not be able to log in their behaviors. So which is what they're trying to do with this specific law. So yeah, and here's it saying, YouTube has criticized the Australian government's decision to include the video platform in its looming social media ban for children. The government has announced after months of speculation that it will include YouTube in its ban. The online video service will be classified as an age-restricted social media platform under the legislation, alongside Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Government tables which online platforms will be captured by the rules. The platforms will face penalties up to 49.5 million if they fail to block signups and active accounts belonging to the user under 16 from 10th December. Online gaming platforms, messaging services like WhatsApp, and health and education systems will be spared. All right, so Prime Minister Albanese formally announced that decision alongside Communications Minister. So there's a whole political side to this, which I will not get into. But yeah, so this is what's gonna happen. And I saw a piece of news just before I started this stream, where this woman, I think this is the spokesperson, she was saying that even Wiggles, if you don't know, is a huge kids entertainment group. They're like a singing group, so they make a lot of kids focus singing, song, and that type of content, kind of like Aussie Christmas, Sesame Street, but not really. There's no Muppets. Yeah, so anyway, so the representatives from Wiggles have actually come to see them in person to stop this, because obviously when this ban comes into place, it's going to affect a lot of the content creators who are making content specifically for kids on that platform. So it is going to directly affect their livelihoods, and they will not be able to sort of have access to behaviors and patterns of people who are watching their videos anymore. And this is going to take a subscriber hit, because the kids who are watching their content will not be able to subscribe because they can't make an account, and the viewer count will also go down because they can't keep up with their content. It will not be coming into feeds or anything unless you actively search up and watch them. So yeah, it definitely their viewership and the subscriberships, all of that is going to take a massive hit after this takes into effect, which I think is slated for December this year. So we have like less than 6 months to go. So we're already in August starting tomorrow. So yeah, it's going to be a huge change in Australia. So I'm not really sure how this is going to come into effect. They have said that you have until December for all these companies, these platforms, to figure out how they're going to implement this change and ban under 16-year-olds to not have access to any of these platforms. I'm not sure how it's going to work, because if they don't do it, they're going to, like I said, they're going to have a huge penalty of like $50 million. And obviously none of these companies want to do that. So they're going to have to figure it out in less than 6 months on how to do it, which is similar to the Discord situation in UK, which is the thing is, it's not really happening properly. We're going to probably see another Sam Porter Bridges situation here too, I guess. I'm not sure like how realistically you can govern this sort of scenarios, but it'll be interesting to see nonetheless. Anyway, what do you guys think of that? Because I think it's a very interesting piece of news, and it's a kind of a hot topic in Australia right now. I'm not really sure how they're going to implement that, to be completely honest with you. But it'll definitely be interesting to see how they're going to implement that. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the situation with that at the moment. So yeah. So anyway, so we still got about 20 minutes left. So for this, I want to be playing hang on. I want to play a game for the next 20 minutes because I think this game is quite fun. I don't know if you have heard of this game, but it is a very nice game. Hang on a second. Why is my thing being weird? Okay. Whoa. Everything just went kind of weird. What? Anyway, this thing is not working properly, so I'm gonna switch to my normal display if you guys don't mind. Okay, so let's play this game because I think this is a pretty cool game. I sort of came across it kind of randomly, actually. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting game, I thought. You guys can see it, right? Yeah. So you basically get stranded, not stranded. You land in this planet, and then you come across this gunk, kind of. I mean, that's what the game's called, the gunk. You like suck it up, and then kind of weird shit happens, So yeah, and it's kind of like a puzzle piece a little bit, and you come across like this ancient civilization possibly. So you have to figure out like what the hell is going on in this planet. See, that's the gunk I'm talking about over there. Like that's gunk. So I'm not sure what is happening here, and I've finished. I've been playing the game and just finished when we came across this little, almost like a temple-like structure. I figured out how to get across. And we're just going in and see what happens. Polluted lake.
What the? The ping interference.
Yeah.
And I can.
Bex? Bex, are you there?
I am here.
Crap.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Oh, stars! That glowing light up there. Is that where the ping's coming from? I gotta get up there.
So, yeah, that's a lot of gunk. That's a lot of gunk. Get to the top of the tower. This would be interesting.
Yuck. No wonder the water's all clogged up. What is this?
So you just suck it up like this.
Sacrifice?
That's what you do.
They make offerings to the
It's kind of satisfying.
energy god.
It's very satisfying.
Enough with the fantasies, Bonnie. Stay focused.
Focus. Yeah. It's a lot of gunk. I don't know if we can ever finish sucking up the whole thing. Maybe you can. But it's a lot of gunk. A lot of gunk. I don't know if... Oh shit. So you sort of gonna have to like reveal your own path and figure out how to go, I guess. It looks like it's gonna take a while. Sucking up all this gunk. Oh shit. Yeah, these things you have to be careful of because that can hurt you. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I mean, it's a very simple game. You don't really die. you just start from where you fell. I'm not complaining. I'm just... Yeah. So, not much is happening here. There's no path. Oh, you can't get on top of Gunk, apparently. I thought you could, but you can't. Ah. Oh, this path is blocked. Can't do anything about that. So I suppose you're supposed to just keep going that way. So let's just keep going that way, I guess. This is the path that was revealed to us. Not really sure where to go from here though. Is this the path? Is this the path? Yeah, looks like it's the path. Oh, you follow this path. Bruh. Still a long way away.
This stuff gets everywhere.
Yeah. They get everywhere. Making progress. Cool. Yeah. And you have all these like fun little things that you can suck up. They're like resources. You're basically like a walking vacuum. That's it. I'm not complaining. It's a fun little game. It's actually So far, I'm having a lot of fun playing this game. I didn't think it would be this fun. It's a very simple game loop. It's not open world. It feels open. It's very sandboxy, but it's just feels open enough that you just keep going. And the story itself is interesting.
This is gonna take forever, Pumpkin.
I wouldn't say it's original.
Some advice. She'd tell me to just climb up there and take a look at that glowing thing, instead of talking to myself like a crazy person.
You okay? So you're getting like sucked out by it. Oh shit! Can't see anything. Holy shit! This is intense, bro. Well, you couldn't die from it. You just can't see shit.
This hostile gunk. Good thing I've got my mask on.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna let this stuff stop me.
Whew.
Just a bit further.
Okay. It's a very simple game loop, but it's very satisfying. It's very satisfying. A lot of fun to play. You just suck up resources and keep going. That's it. And hope for the best.
Back into the fray.
Except the inscriptions frequently mention the word garden. Did you ever heard of it?
Can't say shit.
Is this where they grew their crop?
Can't see shit. Oh my god. This is a lot of gunk. No.
No pain, no gain. We're getting close.
Okay. What's at the top of the tower, dude? I'm so keen to know one now. Ah. Gunk, boy. Okay, where to now? Drop here.
What would Bex do? I guess I gotta try to get it open?
Oh. Oh, what just happened? Woo! That was easy.
Holy crap!
Just got rid of all the gunk.
What the fuck, Ronnie?
Hey, Bex! You're back!
Oh, I was so worried. At first, I lost the ping and the radio went all static. And I went inside to try and fix it, and then came this sound like a swoosh. And I looked out, and the whole place had changed. The river's clearing up. The air is lighter, and the energy reading went right off the charts.
I know, right? It was like this mega gunk, and I was... there was... I opened a
Mega.
hatch on the pipe, and there was this, like, energy blast. All the gunk vanished in one blow.
According to the data, you released pure lightning.
It opened up my way, too. I can see where the pipe comes out of the ground.
You can? You have to follow it. I mean, if you think it's safe to go down there.
I'd say me and Pumpkin are up for the challenge.
Okay. Mega gunk. Oh, I can't. Oh, no, no, no.
This place makes me think of those secret gardens I used to read about, you know, when I was a kid.
You wouldn't mind being an adventurer in a fairy tale, would you?
I sure wouldn't.
Oops. Kind of wish you could just fly. Oh. How do you get down?
I'm following the pipe.
Cool. It's pretty cool. All right. Well, this is the game, and it's only like $5 on Steam. And
We're getting deep underground, but the only way up is
it's
down.
a fun little game. I think you should try out. I don't really know how it's gonna end. I played maybe shit. I played like an hour and a half of this so far. Yeah, maybe like 2 hours into this game now. I don't think it's a very long game, but for $5, man, it's a fun little experience, and I think you should check it out for sure if you haven't already.
Here we
Nice
go.
little hidden gem. Anyway, I am gonna stop it right here because it's been 2 hours, and kind of wanna wrap it up. And yeah, it's been nice hanging out, and even if it's just me, whoever tuned in, thank you for you guys. And if you actually come across this after the stream, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I actually talk a lot more stuff and more detailed, and about some of the stuff that I talk about here, and also a lot more stuff. So check it out there. And if you're enjoying this, please give me a follow on Twitch as well. That will really help me out. And I will see you guys again on Saturday stream. Until then, have a great rest of the week, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you. Hugs and kisses. Bye bye. Okay. All right. Now.